You know what time it is? It's time for another episode of The Master. Right here on That Ninja Show. Welcome again, folks, to another episode of That Ninja Show. Shinobi1 here, and of course, it is time for episode 6 of The Master. We're going to get right into Fat Tuesday, where we find Max and JP in New Orleans to celebrate Mardi Gras and mischief abound. So there goes my production assistant Hella making her little debut in here. There we go. There she goes. Anyway, so without further ado, let's get right into it, shall we, folks? Episode 6, The Master, Fat Tuesday. Watch it go.
John Peter McAllister, the only Occidental American ever to achieve the martial arts discipline of a ninja. Once part of a secret sect, he wanted to leave, but was marked for death by his fellow ninjas. But he escaped. He's searching for a daughter he didn't know he had. Pursued by Okasa, once the master's student, now sworn to kill him. The master found a new student. That's me, Max Keller. But we knew Okasa would be behind us, in the shadows, ready to strike again.
My name is Okasa. I'm looking for John Peter McAllister, a master like yourself. I must have proof. You are indeed McAllister's student. You are willing?
Hi, I'm Max Keller. As you can see, Okasa was still behind us, trying to discover the master's whereabouts. As deadly as ever.
Clearly, you are the master's pupil. He was here 2 days ago.
You must tell me where he's staying.
He departed for New Orleans, I believe. Something about a newspaper story. His daughter.
New Orleans.
So, Okasa is back and in a familiar place. Those of you who have watched another little interesting movie, Revenge of the Ninja, are familiar with that opening scene, or that home in that opening scene, which is Casa de Osaki from Revenge of the Ninja. Or, truth be known, it's actually Shirley Temple's house. That was spoken about in the Blu-ray edition of Revenge of the Ninja, courtesy of the man himself, Sam Furstenberg. Wonderful director. Great person to talk to. So, yes. That was Shirley Temple's house in California. And they filmed that there. Well, I don't know if the master filmed that there. They may have. But I know that for Revenge of the Ninja, the beginning scene of Revenge of the Ninja was a pickup shot. Because they felt like there wasn't enough backstory to Cho Osaki coming to the States. So, a little crossover there between the Master and Revenge. Kind of cool to see that. So, on to the next thing.
You know, the girl in this picture doesn't have to be your daughter.
Same name, same dark hair, slender, flies a plane.
And hanging out with what? A Mideastern gun runner and a rich crook?
Or so she told the reporter, Eve Michaels. You're hoping it isn't my daughter.
Aren't you? Just a little? If it is her, she's into some serious trouble.
Then we'll get her out of it.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Say, listen, you want me to pull over and undo those ropes?
Why?
That thing must be shrunk tight as a drum by now. Double knots? Even Houdini couldn't get out of there.
Houdini used ninja escape techniques. Junin Taiso. Ancient method of conditioning, stretching, flexing. Even the body can move if you let it. There you go.
Fantastic. When we get to New Orleans, you'll teach me this?
If we get there. You missed your turnoff about a mile back.
With your eyes closed? Well, let's hope we don't get lost in the Mardi Gras.
I like the format of these episodes where everything begins with a ninja lesson that McAllister is trying to instill upon Max. And this one deals with him being tied up. If taken prisoner, how would you escape? So McAllister is doing it with his eyes closed, and he's got multiple knots and such, and escapes it with no problem. Whereas, Max is still on the learning curve, so to speak. So, I really like how these episodes are kind of formatted in that way, because you're like, oh, what crazy technique does McAllister have set for Max? And this time it was how to escape. So, on to the next thing.
Listen, all I'm saying is don't get your hopes up too high.
Max, they are my hopes. Most fathers meet their daughters when they're bored. And yes, I am scared.
I know.
She might not even like me. I might not even like her.
You figure she and her mother get along?
I don't know anybody that can get along with Laura Kennedy. For about 2 months there, I thought I did.
Korean War, right?
Yeah. Then one morning, she was gone.
Just like that. And 29 years later, you discover you're a father.
Doesn't everybody?
Wait, go! Like those, you're coming with us.
Let me go!
Lady,
Save it for later.
good idea. Let her go.
Out of the way, kid.
You should listen to him. Makes a lot of sense.
Let's get out of here. Try, come on.
No license plate.
Listen, thank you. I'm Eve Michaels.
You're kidding.
I'm John Peter McAllister. I talked to you by phone. I'm Terry McAllister's father.
Oh, I didn't expect you. But I'm glad you showed up when you did. Your daughter told me all about you. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Any idea what that was all about?
Several. All named Beaumont.
Let's get her out of here.
So in this exchange between the guys, it seems like they feel like they're getting closer to finding Terry McAllister. There's even a mention of Terry's mom, a little bit of backstory, a Miss Laura Kennedy that old JPM had a fling with, and so kind of goes into a little bit of backstory about her and the interaction that happened there, which led to the creation of one Terry McAllister, if she does exist. And then, of course, the guys arrive onto the scene and to save the damsel in distress. And of course, the fight scenes now have been kind of slowed down a little bit more, the $6 Million Man style. You know, I was kind of waiting for the, but it wasn't in there, and that would have given me like a severe flashback to $6 Million Man, which I know some of y'all have probably seen that. If you haven't, you need to. I even had the figure where if he pressed his back, he lifted the whole engine block. He had the little bionic pieces. Anyway, my train of thought's derailing. Let's get back to it, and then also try to get my focus like Okasa has, who's right there on their trail. He's just kind of waiting to strike like a cobra. Anyway, on to the next thing.
Sometimes reporters are a little too pushy for their own good.
About Beaumont. Are you sure Austin Beaumont is dealing in drugs and arms? You got all this from Terry?
Not all. I have a writing partner, Ellen Perry. He disappeared 2 weeks ago.
Beaumont?
I haven't proven it yet. Ellen was in Zurich researching Beaumont's connections there. I know Beaumont grabbed him.
Are the police onto him?
Forget it. Why do you think I haven't bothered calling them about the fun and games in the parking lot? You suggest Beaumont is anything less than a saint in this town, and they're ready to lock you up. So you see, Mr. McAllister really is...
McAllister, huh? It's got a nice ring. Well, how do you like my plates? Oh, no, not just me. My daddy was really the first. He played cornet with King Oliver and Isham Jones. You fellas got the good fortune to be seeing New Orleans at her absolute best. Flowers in her hair, kicking up her skirts, singing and dancing like there's no tomorrow. And if you don't have the time of your lives, I'm coming after you. You hear?
I wouldn't risk it.
Smart move. Well, it's nice talking to you. Have a nice time here.
You said her nickname's Blind Willie?
She only sees what she wants to see, which is just about anything that goes on in New Orleans.
Leroy Hodges. I knew it was you.
I'm sorry.
Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Pardon me, but...
Oh, same old kidder, Leroy, aren't you?
Sorry, ma'am, but...
It's me, Harriet Cooper. Well, formally, went and married Lester Milburn, because you wouldn't give me a tumble.
Mrs. Milburn, I think you've made a mistake.
Oh, sure I am. Land's sakes, when did Bernice and Alice see you? Oh, silly goof, that's my sisters. I told them all about you. They're here in New Orleans with me.
Enjoy yourself, Mrs. Milburn, but you can see that
Oh, certainly. I see you're busy. We're staying at the Chelsea.
I'll call you.
Hey.
Now, look, I'll put you together with your daughter just as soon...
No, you look, Miss Michaels. I'll take full responsibility for Terry's safety. I just want you to tell us where she is now.
I don't know where she is, not right at this moment.
Yeah, but you said...
She got nervous. She insisted on moving. I won't be hearing from her for at least 24 hours, but when I do, I'll let you know. Immediately. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to polish up some copy for tomorrow's paper.
24 hours, then.
Listen, I'll walk you back to your office.
Thanks. But I don't think Beaumont will be trying again. At least not until he sees tomorrow's paper. Another time, Max?
That girl's right about one thing. Austin Beaumont's a bad dude. Runs in his family.
You know him?
Know him? My great-great-grandmother was a slave on the Beaumont's plantation.
Where is the plantation?
Oh, upriver a few miles. Isn't much left no more but the manor house and a few acres. But Beaumont's big on keeping up appearances. Remember that.
Let's go.
Leroy, remember the afternoon you got me to cut chemistry class?
How could I forget?
Leroy must have been some kind of animal. Maybe you ought to call her.
So right from the get-go, we already know that Eve Michaels is full of it. Because when she told McAllister that his daughter told her everything about him, you know, we all know that that's BS. So you already know that this chick is just kind of playing them. But, you know, it's kind of interesting to see this episode play out. Because JPM already knows the same thing, man. He's like... whatever, chick, you know, you're pulling my Kasari Fundo here. You're lying. So yeah, and just that just kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth with this chick, and I'm surprised that they just didn't, you know, up and leave. But of course, then the episode would probably be over pretty quick if we did that. It's like later, and then Anyway, so that didn't happen. JPM starts getting, you know, involved still. And then, of course, like a ninja pimp that he is, he's playing for the ladies. All sorts of ladies coming up onto him, so. Interesting. So, on to the next thing.
Warming up for tomorrow's festivities.
You suppose they'd notice a couple extra guests?
You asking me for a date? And me without a thing to wear.
Yeah, you'll think of something.
I just adore all this, Austin.
A pity more of our crowd doesn't observe the old tradition.
Ah, yes, a pity indeed, Mrs. Farley. Thank you for appreciating my little gesture. I hope you'll remember it come election time. Excuse me. I don't recall inviting you, sir.
An oversight, no doubt. I assume the $2 million I advanced you will cover my modest appetite for food and drink.
Get out.
No, Mr. Beaumont. I want my guns. My people are becoming nervous. I am nervous. My sources inform me that the arms shipment will remain in New Orleans for only 2 more days.
I love your costume, darling. So macho.
I try.
Mr. Beaumont?
Yes. Where the hell have you been? Did you get it? Splendid. Are you sure it's the right one? Good. 10 a.m., Beauregard. You'll have your order by tomorrow night.
Hey, we gotta get out of here. Okasa. Yeah! Yeah!
Clever costume. The ninja. Interesting subculture. Goes back to the 16th century. Some say even before. Beyond recorded history. My name's John Peter McAllister. McAllister. Should I, Terry's father. What is this? Some sort of joke? The Michaels woman, she put you up to this, didn't she? Tell me about my daughter. Crow.
He was in the parking lot. He saved the reporter. I saw his friend outside.
Would you show Mr. McAllister to the study? Can I take a rain check? I've got something real great for relieving tension.
Okay, killer. Come with us.
Sorry, fellas, the dance card's all filled up. Captain, there you are. Cynthia, they said you weren't gonna be here. Really? Be right back, fellas. No problem. It's just...
I like your approach.
I like the way you swim.
Catch you later.
I can't take you anywhere, can I?
Told you I was fun at parties. Glad you dropped by.
Okay, that was the 14th. Ashad Ben Fauzi and...
So we have party time for our martial arts party crashers, so to speak. And this time, as the new big bad, or the big bad for New Orleans, we have Robert Pine playing Beaumont. And for those that know Robert Pine or don't know him, he was in Chips. He's been in a lot of other movies and such. And then his son is also Chris Pine, who played the new Kirk in Star Trek and was also in Wonder Woman. And to me, he's got like John Kreese. He's got John Kreese skull or Bob Eubanks skull or a Pez head. That dude's head is bigger than his body. You ever seen Chris Pine? I mean, just look at him. Is he standing there? He looks like a living Pez dispenser. You know, I'm almost afraid his neck's going to tilt back and a big candy wafer is going to pop out or something. His head's just freaking huge, man. I'm like, how does his body maintain that weight? You know, granted, I know the little kid from like Jerry Maguire would talk about it being 8 pounds, but that looks more than 8 pounds. That head is huge. Anyway, so McAllister still being a pimp while gathering intelligence there. You know, the guys are there to gather some intelligence because Eve's kind of caught their interest. And then, of course, McAllister's decked out in his ninja outfit, his Shinobi Shizuku, and who else is there but Okasa? So, yeah. And he's wearing almost the same outfit with minus the medallion. It looks like he even had the little patch there on his hood. So I was like, damn, man. He's playing some undercover brother there stuff. So that was pretty interesting. So then, yeah, Okasa kind of, you know, does a little demonstration on Max and then bails. And then the next thing you know, they're about to get escorted off the property. And McAllister's not up with that. So he kind of does his own demonstration on Beaumont's guards and Pop Smoke with Max on out of there. So good times always. This time they didn't get thrown out. They were about to, but they escorted themselves out. Back to it.
God.
Beauregard. There's no street named Beauregard.
Maybe it's not a street.
Beauregard Park. Well, we got 8 minutes. Step on it.
This it everybody's after better be good.
Well, it might just give us some leverage with Beaumont. Maybe enough to get Terry out of danger.
That him? Jacket over the arm?
Yeah, that's our courier.
Mr. Beaumont?
We're his associates. Your money's all here.
Now what? My purse snatcher imitation?
Try this. Okay, now.
Ah! Hey!
What?
I love it. I never knew what hit him. Hey, how come I'm so out of breath and you're... Why am I asking?
Airline ticket.
That's it?
That's it.
Trans-Columbia flight BG 4727.
Be Austin. Now it's got to be Beaumont.
From LA to New York. But he's here. What's an airline ticket have to do with an illegal arms sale?
Eve may know, and we'll split up. You try her office, I'll try her apartment. I don't know what Beaumont will do when he finds that's missing. We'll
Right.
meet at Blind Willie's.
I'm on my way.
Master.
Okasa, you have an uncanny habit of showing up at the wrong moment.
I did not start this game, Master. It was you who chose to betray the ninjutsu tradition. To betray our secrets.
You betrayed your own integrity, Okasa. There's no glory in the old days. We could do a couple hours on that one.
But we will not. Because in a moment, you will be dead. Yeah!
So, more intelligence gathering. Max and McAllister steal some documents from these dudes and pop smoke on them. And then, of course, Okasa's in the weeds, literally, waiting for him. I like how McAllister notices him and then doesn't even play off on it, you know, like the whole, like, didn't do the 2 versus 1 again situation where he's like, you know, he wanted to handle it on his own, didn't want Max to get involved, so he sends Max on a little task while he goes and he meets up with Okasa. And then, of course, Okasa says, in a moment, which I guess means after the commercial break, that McAllister is about to meet his end. So, back to it after the commercial break.
Goodbye, Master.
An airline ticket?
My sentiments exactly. Does it mean anything to you?
Less than nothing.
Well, you can bet it means a lot to Beaumont. Now, look, what about Terry McAllister? Have you heard from her yet?
No, not yet.
You said 24 hours.
She hasn't called. Look, Max, don't press it. Please.
Okasa breaks out a couple of comma. McAllister finds a wood plank. Perfectly good straight wood plank there in the woods. All right, that'll work. But I love McAllister with the ninja toe steal from Okasa's back. It's like, hey, lose something? That's what I thought. That was cool. I gotta give props to McAllister for that. That was really cool. But dude, Okasa's hungry. He broke out the Tonto and got a piece of McAllister, and McAllister, you know, falls into the water and is supposedly gone. That's one point there where, you know, since the beginning of the series, we haven't seen McAllister really take a severe injury like that. He took a little bit of a beating, if you know, an episode or 2 ago, but by Okasa, but to get cut, I was like, oh damn. When I watched it when I was a kid, I was like, what the hell happened? It was like so quick. And so, or at least for me, it was so quick when I was watching it as a kid. And I just saw him jump up and then like all of a sudden lose his balance and fall in the water. And I didn't even realize his arm was cut. So, had to go back and watch it again when I was a rerun. And then I realized it. But yeah, when I first saw it as a kid, I was like, what the hell happened? That was so quick. But yeah. Okasa's hungry. He's really driven to take out McAllister. It's no bueno. So, while we're in that area there, I do want to take a moment to say, like, subscribe, tell your friends, get on it, hit the bell so you can be notified about more episodes. I was going to start doing my set schedule on Tuesdays, but tax time and my job has been like crazy busy. So here at the half mark, I just wanted to kind of talk about that and say that probably the safest bet is for me to just do my pre-work on Friday and then get the episode up on Saturdays. So Saturdays going forward, that's the new schedule for me. Gonna have this video up as soon as I'm done filming this here. So I just wanted to let you guys and gals know. I apologize for not being punctual, but this week has been pretty crazy at work with tax time pending upon a lot of people calling about this, that, and the other. So once I get done with work, I'm like beat down, tired. I'm like McAllister. I just kind of like, whoa, and then fall into the water. So sorry about that, folks. But anyways, in the meantime, for those of you that are just tuning in, like, subscribe, tell your friends. If they like ninja stuff, hear what it is. It's all about ninja entertainment. I don't talk too much about the true martial arts disciplines and things like that. There's a lot of other great people out there that put that material out. So I wouldn't want to encroach upon them, you know. So with that, if you like movies, ninja movies, if you like ninja TV shows, here's where you tune in. Right here at this channel. I'm not going to point down because that could be taken as gross or something. So right here, subscribe, like, subscribe, get signed up, and stay tuned for more on That Ninja Show.
Honey, this is really Moreau you're talking to, and I know what costs what. Now, if you're going to do business with me, you're going to have to... I thought you'd see it my way. Now, don't you feel better? Now, what I want you to do is... Hey, wait, I'll catch you later. Oh, my God. What happened to you? Come on over here.
Thanks.
Easy now. Who did this to you?
You need a motive, Lieutenant? Look at the stuff Eve's been printing about Beaumont.
Oh, yeah. And Sam, I gotta tell you, I never thought you'd be a party to this garbage journalism. I mean, like that Michaels bimbo isn't exactly a picture of accuracy, is she? And for someone like you to be accusing Austin Beaumont, I mean, you are about as reliable as a bayou fortune teller. I just ran a rap sheet on you, Keller. You got yourself a record of disorderly and disturbing from here to Idaho.
You might have noticed there were no convictions.
Sure, I know. You were set up. Just make sure you stay in town for a few days.
Count on it, Lieutenant. I mean, somebody's got to find Eve Michaels, right?
Phillips, how long is it going to take you to access that thing?
So, well, yeah, we do see McAllister take a loss, and how driven Okasa is to kill him. It's pretty in your face and intense now. And then, of course, Max is off, you know, after Eve got kidnapped, talking with the lieutenant there at the police department. And the guy with the crooked glasses, the lieutenant there, he seems like he's almost either on Beaumont's payroll or just one of these skeptics that, you know, someone who's supposedly so high society would be crooked. But turns out that Beaumont is crooked. So anyway, things are turning up, folks. On to the next thing.
Better than the hospital, ain't it? And cheaper, too.
Fewer questions.
Out there.
BG 4727.
How's that?
The number got a wrong note in it somewhere. I gotta go find Max.
No way, honey. You've lost a lot of blood. I'm gonna go up front and tend to business. And I want you to rest up a while, you hear?
Yeah.
don't get any smarter, do you?
That's it. That's what's wrong with it.
What, honey? You having a nightmare?
No. The airline ticket, BG 4727. It's a phony.
Say again?
I knew a stewardess once. Got to know her flight schedule pretty well. Hello? Do you have a flight number BG 4727, LA to New York? Thanks. He was right. There's no such flight. LA to New York, west to east, the numbers are usually even. The odd numbers go the other way.
Then what does it mean?
A code probably to 2 what?
Beats me. I was coming to tell you that Sam Bellwood called. Abe Michaels was kidnapped a while ago.
And Max?
Went after Beaumont. I suppose it wouldn't do much good trying to stop you from going.
No, Willie, it wouldn't.
Sit here. Take my car and be careful.
Thanks.
So McAllister's there on the mend. Still showing concern for Max and still trying to solve the riddle of that code. And which is good that he's still showing concern for Max, because he's about to get his butt in trouble, which he got himself in, got in trouble again by getting captured. So always the troublemaker Max is getting into trouble. So anyway, on to the next thing.
You don't have Terry McAllister stashed anywhere, do you?
How did you know?
The stalling, the lame excuses.
I feel awful. Look what I've done to you.
Not to mention the way you played around with the old man's emotions. You made up all that stuff you wrote about Beaumont?
Not all, Max. I mean, I was just being a little creative, filling in the blanks. I mean, I saw him with Fauzi. Ellen, my partner, found out that Fauzi was buying guns. I'm just sorry I got you involved.
Terry McAllister? You just pulled that name out of the air?
Yes. No, I thought I was making it up. I did a story about a year ago about a woman's air race. She was in it. I guess the name just stuck in my mind.
Wonderful.
The airline ticket.
There's a code.
To break the alarm system at the Armory, they have a special storeroom full of top secret small arms, the latest stuff. They've got an inside man. They're gonna run in an army truck like they're making a delivery. When the alarm is disarmed, the inside man will open the store area, and out they go with the whole shipment. Military precision. There's no way we'll get them.
Not unless we can stop the truck from ever getting inside.
They laid the whole thing out right in front of me, and the knowledge of it'll die with me. Us.
Have a little faith, pretty lady. I'm gonna get us both out of here. How does it make it look so easy?
Who?
McAllister. Come on. Come on. The body knows how to move it. Just let it.
What?
It's easy for him to say. I'm gonna find us another way. Eat your heart out, Houdini.
Max finally calls out Eve. We all knew she was full of it. What a peasant wench. Really. I mean, she lied about the whole thing from the get. We all knew it because we know that Terry doesn't know a whole lot about JPM, so. And, of course, Max still on the learning curve about learning his new lesson, which is to escape ropes from being tied up. And the whole movement thing. Which reminds me, my train of thought's about to derail. Watch out, folks. Choo-choo. Anyway. Maybe Max should have learned from Bruce Leroy's little brother in The Last Dragon, who did the whole pop and lock. That's my pop and lock. That's actually me popping and locking out some of the old joints that are in my body. But Bruce Leroy's little brother did the whole pop and lock to get out of his ropes. Who knew that you could break dance to get out of ropes? I haven't tried that yet. I don't know if I'm going to. Might be something interesting for like a video short. I don't know. On to the next thing.
Where's Callum?
Let's go.
Whoa, killer. You're going the wrong way.
Boy, am I glad to see you.
Feelings mutual. Let's get out of here.
Good idea. They'll be right behind us.
Don't count on it.
Come on, get after him. Go on. Right.
Let him go, let him go.
What, right to the police?
It's their word against ours. A newspaper woman who's after my blood and 2 transients, they won't try it. We'll deal with them after the armory. I want this operation stepped up. We hit in 1 hour.
So Max with the surprise attack out of the boxes. Merry Christmas, mother jumpers. And then McAllister with the getaway. And the dynamic ninja duo are together again. So it's always good to see those two rally up and work together. They work better in a pair. That's why I always thought that, yeah. You know, Max is learning. Maybe him and McAllister should fight Okasa together. But I think I think the old man's worried that Okasa would kill Max. So probably that's why he tends to take the whole brunt of the fight situation when it comes to Okasa. But yeah, I think that would be kind of cool. Seeing him and Max work together on Okasa. Kind of like the whole Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul. But we already know what happened in that situation if you've seen Star Wars. When Star Wars was somewhat good. Anyway, on to the next thing.
It's the armory on 2nd Street.
Eve, you go to the police. Try to convince them. We'll head for the armory.
Saving my life is becoming a habit. I'm not sure I'm worth it. Not to you. I've got to talk to you, Mr. McAllister. I've got
Eve, later, please.
McAllister already knew that Eve was a lion peasant wench. And he just wants to get Beaumont, bring him to justice, bring an end to this whole thing. But Eve Michaels is still a lying peasant wench. Don't like her one bit. that character was like, she was the worst character in this series, because you knew that she was flat out lying from the get-go. There's another one too that plays that card really bad too later on, even though she's a very pretty lady in the later episode, but still another lying peasant wench that tries to do a one-over on Max and McAllister. No bueno. No bueno. On to the next thing.
The guns. Where are you taking the guns? Where?
Beaumont's boat. Pier 14.
Marco? Marco! We're getting out of here.
Let's get us off. Get bow line, Kroll.
All right.
God, what have I done?
Keller, I owe you an apology. A big one. Max, can you spare a towel?
So was Beaumont playing Marco Polo? Because I know that when I was sitting there and he's calling out Marco, I started yelling out Polo. Anyway, final duel going on both fronts there. Max cleaning up on the harbor there, or the pier, and then of course McAllister on the boat. Or really, it's Show doing all the stunt work for LVC there. You can definitely see Show's face in some of those scenes, and yeah, it was kind of cool seeing that there. It's like, all right, yeah, it is Show, but anyway, gotta love it, because I know in Show's interview he said that yes, he did a lot of stunts for Leave and Cleave. So it was really cool to see that. The backdraft moment where the chemical spill on the boat and Beaumont shoots off that flare gun and it blows up. So there's that moment where you're like, oh, damn. Did something really happen to McAllister? Nope. He swam to shore with Beaumont at the end there and kind of saved the day. There's that father-son bonding moment at the end between Max and McAllister. It definitely strikes a chord with me on a personal level because it makes me miss my father. I used to watch this series with him along with a lot of other serial TV shows, and so yeah, it kind of gets to me in that notion. So if you're still on good terms with your dad and you still talk to him, reach out to him. Just say hey. Just say you're thinking of him or whatever, because time is short. Life is short for some people. For my dad, he lived for a very good, long time. I mean, he made it to 93. But I always thought that he was going to outlive me because he just always seemed like a tank. So I miss my dad every day. I ain't gonna lie. And that little scene, just every time I see it where they've got that little father-son bonding moment, it still hits me. So anyway, epilogue time.
You knew? When?
When we met, in the parking lot. You said Terry told you all about me. Aside from my living in Japan, she doesn't know anything about me or my life.
And you never let on?
I was curious. You didn't strike me as a girl who built her career on fabricated stories.
I guess I was obsessed with nailing Beaumont after my partner's disappearance. Well,
Yeah, I'm sorry. But your allegations have been proved now.
that's not good enough. There's something called ethics, integrity. I'll have to tell my editor.
Some people wouldn't.
How can I ever thank you? Or Max?
Oh, he'll have an idea.
I hope so. It's the best thing to happen to me in a long time.
Me too.
What about you and your daughter? Can I help?
Well, if you hear of any leads, I'd appreciate it.
Honey, you can forget about leads for a while. I don't think that partner of yours is going anywhere. It's Mardi Gras. Willy boom. It gets in your blood.
Oh, Leroy, darling, there you are. Poor thing. I bet you've been calling and calling. We moved to a different hotel.
Oh?
Well, I'm just gonna make your day. Bernice! Alice! Here he is!
So the guys solved the situation. The trail is still cold for Terry, but they're going to finally enjoy some downtime, looks like, and enjoy some Mardi Gras moments, which was really cool. And then, of course, McAllister, being the quick ninja pimp that he is, it must be the medallion. Chicks must dig the medallion. That's the only thing I can think of, because it's like, you know, back in those times when a dude wore a medallion, you knew that he was like supreme being pimpalicious. You know, I haven't worn my medallion out on the street yet because I don't know if chicks would dig it or they'd probably laugh at me. I don't know, because it's 3D printed. Anyway, it's worth a shot. I don't know. I may try and wear it, you know, on my next date with a hot lady or something, and she'd be all like, "Is that a medallion?" I'll be like, "Yeah, baby, it is. Do you like the medallion?" And I'm gonna use that voice too. That may sound creepy. I don't know. Oh well, what the hell. So with that, folks, that wraps up this episode of The Master. Next week, I am probably going to start the retrospect for Ninja 3. So I'm going to break the movies up into 3 episodes. So, and then yes, Saturday is going to be my target date for uploading videos from now on for a while until I get out of this funk with work. But it all depends. I mean, if you guys like Saturdays, I'll just keep doing them on Saturdays, because then I upload them on Saturday night. Y'all have Saturday night and Sunday morning, if y'all are off on the weekends, to kind of kick back and chill and watch them. And to tell your friends so they can like and subscribe. Like, subscribe. Do that down there. So, yes, that is the game plan. Is to try and just switch my schedule to Saturdays, so I have the time and the energy that I have for my weekends to focus on this, because I really don't want to shortchange you guys and gals that do watch. I don't want to be like, if you saw earlier episodes, which probably you have, if you've gone back and seen some of the earlier episodes where I filmed at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, where I'm like in zombie mode, where it's like, "Hey, this is a great sword. Do you like this sword? Do you like water? I like water." It's like, whoa, what the hell's wrong with you, John? Anyway, so I don't want to be that person again. I want to be able to bring, again, like I've said before, I want to bring, you know, good energy to each episode, and so that way you guys and gals who do watch can see that I'm not just dragging on. So Saturday, next Saturday, we're going to start with Ninja 3. There are a lot more interviews popping up now on the net, on YouTube land, that I'm seeing, which is really cool. I'm glad I got my 40th anniversary interviews in early with Sam and Lucinda. There's still other people out there that I would love to interview. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, hey, it is what it is. So, on that note, like, subscribe, tell your friends. I'm going for 1,000 subscribers, so we can have a pretty awesome giveaway. Because if you like ninja outfits, that's going to be included with that giveaway. So, with that, I will close for this episode and say thank you once again for your time. And I hope you folks don't get lost in the eclipse that happens on Monday. Yeah, some people have been freaking out about the eclipse for Monday, where it's like, oh my god, it's gonna be an alien invasion. Is it really? I don't think aliens would want to invade here after they've seen how messed up this world is, plus all the trash that we got surrounding our planet with all the satellite parts and stuff that I always see. It's like I don't know, these people, it's kind of like going to a river where everybody litters, you know, like spring breakers or something that go to like the Comal River or the Guadalupe River here in Texas, and they get plastered and leave their beer cans and crap in there, and you're like, how the hell am I going to visit this and enjoy this? So, anyways, who's to say there's aliens? But anyway, on that note, Shinobi 1, signing off. Thank you again. Like and subscribe. See you next Saturday.